Okay, welcome back. Another match with Esper Prowess. We won the die roll. His hand does not have enough lands, and Temple plus Bioblight is pretty bad, so I'm gonna mulligan. This is also really bad. We'll go down to 5. This is much better. At least we can cast a Prowess. Exemplars can go on the bottom. We don't even have enough lands to cast them. Alright, opponent plays Temple of Malady. So I'm guessing Abzan or Sultai. We'll play a Flooded Strand here. Kind of to thin my deck, even though that's very marginal, and kind of to shuffle the Ojutai Exemplars back in. Again, they're both very marginal things, but they could both... Like, I'll take any percentage points I can get, essentially. Thoughtseize was good, but I think I just have to use my mana efficiently and jam the Brimaz. The faster we start clocking our opponent, the better with this deck. Also, in this situation, because we're on a multi-5. Okay, opponent's playing Abzan with Nykthos. So it's green devotion splash, white splash black. Maybe some sort of strange constellation deck. Another Sylvan Caryatid. That's fine. Now I just play the Exemplars, I think, but I attack first. Whatever my opponent plays next turn, Exemplars can deal with. And we just want to get some damage in, so... Again, the faster we can close this game out, the better. We're probably still less than 50% here. But if our opponent doesn't do anything, we can Thoughtseize, and that's very good for us. Oh wow, they don't hit their land drop. Stopping my upkeep, are they playing Downfall? Okay, well. First Striking Lifelink, sure. Ugin, Dragonlord, Dramoka, Genesis Hydra, Sorin Solemn Visitor. Dragonlord, Dramoka is fine. We need a Hero's Downfall or a Valorous Stance to kill it. We have neither, though. I don't care about Sorin. Opponent is too far away from Ugins to really matter. I think I take Dramoka and Genesis Hydra. So we'll take Dragonlord Dramoka first, and then attack. Opponent blocks 2 Cat Soldiers and takes 7. And then we're going to Thoughtseize the Genesis Hydra. Opponent has Sorin, Ugin, and even if they draw well, Ugin is getting cast 2 turns from now. I think I just have to win the game before that happens. I can't fight through everything my opponent's doing. So I just have to fight through things I can't control. Plus 1ing Sorin is actually not bad. Because it lets the Caryatids block the Cat Soldiers? Yes. So the method my opponent chooses. They miss their land drop. Okay. So we're going to send everything into our opponent here. I don't really care about Sorin because if it ever makes a vampire, Bile can handle that. Opponent takes 6 damage if they block with the Caryatids. Take 8, well, take 8, gain 2. So they go to 4. And then I get to deploy the Seeker. And that should be enough. Okay. Land is getting dangerously close to... We're getting dangerously close to the Ugins. Okay. You know, I can deal with that. Opponent +1s, that's fine. So it's just Bile a Hornet, and tap the Queen. And that's game. Yep, opponent concedes. Alright. Sideboarding against Green Devotion. We want the end hostilities. They're more like Planeswalker ramp, I guess, with some Green Devotion elements. I don't know how to sideboard against that. I mean, I definitely want Disdainful Strokes. And Bile is definitely awkward. I don't want the the cruises are marginal, anticipates are marginal. Like the card draw is somewhat marginal. Also because we saw so many Planeswalkers, the ultimate prices might be marginal. But we'll see. Glares seem good. Duresses seem okay. And end hostilities seems also okay. So the cards we can cut are like these 7. I don't think I want to bring Duresses in. I think that it requires my opponent to draw the right half of their deck. I think Glare Heresy and End Hostilities are both good. I think we can cut 2 Anticipates and a Cruise. We still want some mixture of these cards, but our opponent isn't removal heavy. It doesn't appear, so Treasure Cruise is not great in multiples, although the first one is still quite good. And Anticipate requires a lot of mana investment, because we're casting it on turn 4 or 5, and then casting another card. But, again, it's such a powerful spell that it's good to have some. So I think this is the ideal configuration for this matchup. We'll see, though. Alright, let's submit this. If we see, oh, this is interesting. This hand is too threat heavy. Like, we have Myth Realized, but no way to trigger it. All these Prowess creatures, but no way to trigger them because we can't cast the Downfall. And we're actually 2 black sources away from casting the Downfall, unless we draw an Urborg, so going to mulligan. This hand is better. We have Valorous Stance and a Brimaz. We can cast Treasure Cruise if we draw 1 blue source. I'm going to keep. As I was saying, if I see a multicolored 4-drop, like a Siege Rhino or... Oh, wow, okay, that's the blue source. Like a Siege Rhino or Reaper of the Wilds, I might take out the ultimate prices. But we shall see. Oh, Seeker is quite a good draw. I'm going to get the Swamp into play. Is this a Courser? It is a Courser. So I think we just Valorous stance and attack here. Maybe. I have to decide between casting Valorous stance and attacking for 3, or just playing Brimaz and saying go. If I attack and my opponent blocks, then it's just worse because I have to Valorous stance to kill the Courser and I don't deal 3 and gain 3. If I attack and my opponent doesn't block, it's better because I get to Brimaz. But my opponent doesn't have any reason not to block here. Alright, I'm just going to... But if I play Brimaz and say go and they have Apollo Chronos, I'm still fine. Yeah, we're just going to cast Prowess. And say go. Another Courser. Hornet Nest. Jeez. Okay, well, Hornet Nest is problematic. It's probably not the right card to bring in against me, but it's effective in this particular situation. I just have to pass turn. Actually. Because my opponent has Hornet Nest, I might want to bring back Bile or Drown in Sorrow, but again, their deck is very polarized as far as like cards lining up correctly. The second Flooded Strand is useless, by the way. All it does is serve as like delve fodder. Glare is not something I need right now. Opponent draws Arbor Colossus. Doesn't have a land. Plays another Courser. That's weird. They're floating mana every turn. Just strange. Okay, well, Myth Realized is good. And then I will fetch. At the end of this turn, and then we can cast Treasure Cruise next turn, but we might not want to. Why are they floating mana and then passing every turn? It's very unusual. Alright. We're going to put a counter. And we're going to fetch and fail to find. Opponent is definitely playing Arbor Colossus next turn. And I'm going to want to Valorous stance that. So we'll play this Temple of Enlightenment. Bottom of Brimaz. And then we get to Valorous stance the Arbor Colossus. And add a counter to Myth Realized. Genesis Hydra is going to be a problem. Untap, sure. Hydra for 3 when you have a Hydra on top? That seems really bad. Yeah, they just totally missed. They have Dramoka's Command on top. Which means I definitely don't want to fire off this Valorous stance. Seems like our opponent's playing really poorly right now. Alright, End of Hostilities was a good draw. It puts 1, 2, 3 cards in the graveyard. But it doesn't let my opponent cast Valorous stance next turn. So, yeah. I'll just fire that off. And I get to keep my Mithralized. So that's quite good. Guess I could have Valorous Stanced my Brimaz and then cast down hostilities. Opponent's gonna make me sacrifice an enchantment. Yeah, that's fine. Mithralized is gone. Wah wah. I have this treasure cruise waiting to fire, so... Alright, 1, 2... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Draw 3. Alright, we'll play Mithralized. Play Thoughtseize. I wait to leave up Valorous Stance and Ultimate Price. Opponent has Arbor Colossus, Elsbeth, and Hornet Queen. So we're going to Ultimate Price the Mystic right now. And we're going to take the Elsbeth. We have plenty of answers for Arbor Colossus. They have to draw 3 lands in a row for Hornet Queen. I'll make that 2. But that's fine. Alright, scry 1. Anticipate is a very good one. Well, we're going to destroy that Arbor Colossus. Dead. We're going to animate Mithralized. We're going to add a counter. And we're going to attack for 4. Opponent plays Caryatid. So they need to draw a land to cast Hornet Queen. We can also find... Alright, Disdainful Stroke is perfect. And then we will animate the Mithralized and attack for 5. If our opponent doesn't block, I'll go ahead and put a counter on it. Put a lore counter on. Alright, 2 more hits and Mithralized is good. 5, 6. Or just 4 for Polychronos. Yeah, that can get downfalled. We're drawing another downfall. Alright. Downfall, you get a lore counter. And we're going to animate it. Now we get to Disdainful Stroke, or put a lore counter on depending on what our opponent does. Another Polychronos. Okay. So we'll put a lore counter on it. And that's just Delph fuel, but we can keep it in play in case we draw an Urborg. Alright. So we actually get to force our opponent to block, which means they can't cast Hornet Queen, and we're going to win this game. Alright, opponent concedes, we win the match. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, I'll have at least 1 more, but probably 2 more videos for you.